Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Neuron Builds Papercraft edition. This time we are building Gingerbread Guy by Fold Up Toys. When we are done, it's going to look something like this little thing. It's a pretty solid toy that you can hold in your hand. And using good paper, you can really, I mean, this is, let me see if I could give an example of the kind of paper that we're using. So this didn't come off too well, but it's exact index white. The paper that I pulled this off is 11 by 17. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what you have to use. And right here you can see it's 163. It's about, I think it was 90-pound paper, or 100 and, so that was 163 GSM. And the paper I used is legal size, and it's plain white. I think it's just matte finish, nothing shiny, nothing fancy. Stuff to make it easier to cut and to glue. And so this thing here will eventually become this guy right here. And if you want to download this toy, you can download it at folduptoys.com right there. folduptoys.com. Also right here, folduptoys.com. They're downloading tons and tons of Christmas paper crafts, and I thought I hit my quota for Christmas paper crafts this week, or last week, or I mean this month, after I built this guy, her, this guy. So we are on a roll building paper crafts, and I just wanted to keep it that way. We got the Marshall Alexander snowman, sled Santa, and then 3 different Santas from folduptoys.com. Put these aside for now. And then of course we got Christmas Theta from Zero Labor. And you can download her at his website, zerolabor.blogspot.com. I know everything except the Papercraft Santa. I couldn't find the website for Marshall Alexander. I just googled Papercraft Santa, and the Papercraft came up, and I can't remember which website I downloaded it from, but I'm sure you can find it if you look for it. And then, of course, project for today, Gingerbread Guy. So we'll be making that. I'm trying to adjust my microphone a little bit. Making this, and I already built one, so I can show you what it looks like when it's done. And when we're finished, he will have a buddy. Gingerbread Guy will have a bro. So let's get started. Tools of the trade, obviously, and of course a pair of scissors. Very versatile, and not the only cutting tool you'll need, but probably the only cutting tool you need. Of course, razor, and I found my pinch tweezers, so that'll come in handy for today's build. Stylus for scoring, glue application apparatus, and our straight edge, or a ruler. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Essentially what we do to make it easier is, instead of trying to cut delicately around the whole thing first and foremost, we just cut the shape away from the paper and then loosely cut around the edges. And this makes it easier to get into the nooks and crannies, so that we can make a better cut. go. We released it from the paper, and you'll find a lot of handy stuff. We got the legend here, solid lines you cut, dash lines you fold down, dot dash you fold up, and then there is the step-by-step numbers that you see there, which help you understand how to glue it together. I think what my favorite part about this is right here in the arms. No, these are the arms right here. Right here on these arms is how they kind of come. It's really neat how it folds on like a kind of like a clip. It's a really nice shape, really solid too. And you can see right here as the arms on the front they're round, but on the back it doesn't follow through, and that's not a problem. I'm not saying it as a problem. I'm saying it's very nice because nobody will see the back. So instead of just what a lot of novice designers will do is not even think about creating an extending flap, they'll either fold this down or create a flap in here to glue this triangle complete. But Alex went ahead and gave his arms that round look to accentuate it nicely. Let's he can watch us from here or from there. Let's continue cutting. I'm thinking about recording the cutting separately, so that I can probably just play a video and fast forward all that and save everybody the time of having to actually watch me cut it out. It's very, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when it comes to cutting. There's not much I can say. Some people use scissors, some people use the blade. It's all up to you. So I don't... And the way I'm attacking it, you know, I go from one, sometimes I'll do this side and then I'll go to this side. It's just like there's certain areas that are easier to cut before you cut other areas because it frees up space, and that's just really something you pick up as the more you do it, the more you understand how being able to move the paper without bending it or twisting it so as not to rip it, not to tear it, not to accidentally cut one piece off when you're trying to cut off another piece. And let me tell you, I have cut off several, many times pieces that I was just moving too fast, not really paying attention, and that happens. And if that does happen, if you do cut off a piece you shouldn't have no fear. Let's say you cut this piece right here, you cut that in half, and you're like, oops, I wasn't supposed to do that. That piece was supposed to stay together. It was going to be like his arm or something. Like, you cut the arm in half. Well, it's an easy fix. Take a scrap of paper and a dab of glue, and you just glue it back together using that scrap of paper. Your piece is complete again. So that's how you can fix that, and I'm sure somewhere along the line I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna have to use that tactic to repair the Papercraft. Other than that, there's really not much advice or information I can offer while we're cutting. I mean, other than focus on the moment, live in the now. Enjoy the music. Chiptune, everybody. It's my favorite music. If you're new to the stream, chiptune music is my favorite music. Makes me happy. And I recommend everybody listen to it, because it'll make you happy too. So tonight I'm going to try to do a triple header Papercraft marathon. So when I finish this one, I'm going to probably go get something to chew on, take a potty break, and then I'll come back for the next one. And I am warning you, it is another Alex Gwynn Fold Up Toys joint. So just look forward to that. We got two Fold Up Toys.com papercrafts tonight, and then one hard to find Heiko clone. Looks like everything. Go ahead and yep, that's everything cut out. Look, this is you. This is what you're gonna, or this is what you look like, and this is what you're gonna look like. He's very excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear that off. And we will start scoring. Shoot some scores. So we got this little tool here to help us score the paper. What scoring the paper does is it puts a dent in the paper by putting pressure and making it easier to fold once it has that dent. We use this to guide us, the straight edge or the ruler. So this is how you score. When you're using a little nib with a stylus with a little ball, you're going to want to be real careful to line it up right, because the ball's going to push against the thing. So you can't put the ruler exactly on the line, because then it'll be just a millimeter over. So you put it next to it so that the stylus is on the line. And then just work your way up. I usually go section by section and forward, so as not to confuse myself. If you're interested in the art of paper crafting, Fold Up Toys has a YouTube channel where you can watch videos on how to design and how to start designing your own paper crafts, with basic techniques for making cubes and then building on that to make more complicated designs such as this, these, the arms, the body, and then putting it all together to make a cute toy like this. So very informative, and that's Fold Up Toys on YouTube. A lot of great videos there, and some pretty good reviews of some paper toy related products and just some toy related products. It's not all Papercraft all the time. No, I wish it could be. I wish life was just Papercraft all day, every day. Feel a lot happier. You can't tell me that you hear this music and not get happy. Such great music. And when you're done scoring, if you want to see if you've missed any, take a look at the back, and everywhere you've scored, there's going to be a little, like an indent, a line, so you can just see. Hold it up to the light so that the light hits it just right, and you'll be able to tell everywhere you scored. And it looks like I got everything. And that's a good way to check if you got everything. So once we've scored everything, kind of just run through the steps. So this is step 1. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 will be over here, and I did miss one. I missed step 5. Go ahead and increase that. Step 5. Then we got step 6 over here. Just these two. Did I miss that one too? Yep, I missed that one too. Six, 7, 8 is right here. 8, 9 is right here. And I missed 9 as well. Guess I wasn't paying attention, huh? 9, 10's over here. 11, and I missed 11. Why am I'm doing terrible today, just missing everything. And not even taking my own advice. Alright, so 11. Where is 12? So 12's over here. 12 is the arm. 13 is the other arm. 13, 14 is back here, can't do much about that. 15, 16, 17, and 18. And I see that we also forgot to cut this little spot out. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So now we are ready to start applying the glue. And it'll be that easy. So you went through all the steps already. 1, 2, just do that again. But this time you'll be applying glue. And what's going to happen here is you're going to want to fold this over and then bring this part down over it eventually. So don't glue this in between here and then start gluing around, because then you'll have to fish this out, and that won't be fun. So remember, leave this up and start with step 1, which brings this around here. And what I like about the fold-up toy designs is that, I've said this 1,000 times, they're very intuitive. Everything goes where it's supposed to go. That should be their tagline, so I wouldn't have to say it every time. Fold-up toys. Paper toys. Intuitively. Something like that. Because it's very natural. The forms are natural, the folds are natural, the design is natural, and this is one of those designs that was done on one sheet, like just one complete piece. And they could have made it 2 pieces, it would have been easy. Just to separate it right here and then glue the body together, but they kept it one piece, and it doesn't detract from the design. Can I say that it adds to the design? Yeah, it does add to the design a little bit, just the way everything comes together. Like, it's natural. So let's start gluing. You want to take your glue application apparatus. Just smear glue on the first thing that we're gluing. Just this tab here. And then we'll bring it back around. And then just glue it. And this is where your pincher tweezers come in handy to clamp it down and make sure that there's a good grip that it's holding. Give it a few seconds. Like I was talking about earlier, I'll probably just start pre-recording the cutting and the scoring, and then just play those videos, and then when we get to the gluing, that's where I'll do it live from there, so that I can speed up the scoring and the cutting process. Just think it'd be easier that way. So that was 1, and then we got 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go to 2. And it's okay to fold this over backwards. It's not going to hurt the paper, it's not going to hurt the design. And then get a little bit more glue on the applicator. And I mean, it doesn't have to be this metal thing, it could be a toothpick, it could be a brush, it could be... You could use this and just smear. Once again, it's just preference, it's just the way that I've do things. It's just the way that I've gotten used to. And it is trial and error for me, I mean, because I did used to just smear this on, but then there's places that this thing won't get, so it's nice to have something pointy. And I can tell you to go ahead and use this, but if you go ahead and use this without experimenting you're not gonna appreciate why you use this other than an expert told you to do it. And that's the worst reason to do something. I think. Well, maybe it's the best reason to do something, I guess. If an expert told you to do it. And I'm getting way ahead of myself, even calling myself an expert. So then we'll go to the back, we'll do the same thing. Apply glue. So it's nice and smeared. Then line it up and press it down. Hold it. And we hold it. Give it a few seconds. And then go to step 4, 4 and 5. Four. Get the tweezers. Pinch it off. And then step 5. And see, this is another place that it's nice to have something very pointy that you can just get in there and you don't have to worry about something like this, trying to squeeze that in there, getting your paper all twisted. Then we got 6 and 7, which is going to bring the fold over. But notice this is 6 and 7, and the back side is 14, so you don't want to glue it down yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply glue. 6. Or actually, on this one, I'm going to apply glue to this side, to the opposite surface. And I'm doing that so that if it doesn't cover exactly to the dotted line, I don't want to smear glue all over it. So by doing this, I can line it up that way. And see, and if I would have just smeared that whole thing with glue, I would have gotten glue way out to here, and I wouldn't have needed that. And another thing that's nice is there's enough space in here, that looking on in here, and you can press the tab right in there, and then put your other finger right there, so that you can create the pressure to hold it. And that's something else that Alex does consciously to make building the paper toys easier. That should be good for now. Okay, so then we're going to put it again on, we're going to put the glue right here. Then take it inside, put your finger, put it right up in there, and then create the pressure to make the seal, make the bond. Give it a few minutes. Or you can push down on it like that, press it against the flat surface of the desk here. That works too. Perfect. So now we go under here 9 to 10, then 11 and 12. So let's go ahead and get those lined up. 8 and 9. So let's start with 8. I'm going to fold 15 and 16 back so that they're out of the way. Once again, do not be afraid to manipulate the piece like that. You know, there's nothing that says you have to keep these pieces here. You got to keep them straight, or you can move all the pieces you need so that you can focus on the pieces that you're working on. Let's go ahead and apply more glue. Put that in here. Before we start smearing glue everywhere where it doesn't need to be. And we'll go ahead and pinch that with our trusty tweezers. There we go. Got it. Alright, give that a few seconds to create a nice strong bond. Okay, then we'll come back and we'll do step 9. Very narrow space right here to work with. That's again why we appreciate that. Glue application apparatus makes it very easy to apply glue in almost any scenario. Little extra globs of glue coming through, just swipe real quick. Make sure you rub that glue off your fingers, because if you rub the glue off and then start touching your craft, it's gonna leave the globs all over. So rub it off really, really good. Make sure you get it completely off your fingers. Alright, so that's done. Looks good. We'll do step 10 and 11. I'm gonna clean off my apparatus real quick, and to clean these off, it's real easy. I mean, you could just pull it off yourself, but I usually just poke paper a couple times. See? Takes all that glue off. And there, the chunk of the glue gets stuck in there. Just do that a couple times. Have a nice clean applicator. Just want enough. Grab a hold. You don't need too much of this stuff. Aleene's tacky glue is very, very strong, and a little goes a long way. Aleene's tacky glue, the best in the business, I found. That one. Yeah. Tweezers do their job for a minute. Alright, next step is going to be 14, which is this one right here. And you could glue it, but you don't have to, because you're going to secure it with 17, 18, 15, and 16. Oh wait. Let's do, I guess you're supposed to do, before you do 13, you're supposed to do 12 and 13, I mean, before you do 14, we're going to do 12 and 13 first. Because that's how it's supposed to be done. You're supposed to go in order. That's why they got numbers. So let's go ahead and do 13, and 12, and 13. And really simple. Just fold the triangle over on itself, and then line up corner. Just right at the little squiggly line. Man, I gotta say, Holy Connie makes some phenomenal chiptune. So that's done. Let's go ahead and do 12. Fold it over, corner to corner, right there. Tweezers and pinch. Alright, so now we're going to attach 15 and 16, and it's really simple. They just tuck them right into the arm there. And this is 14, you can glue it, but like I was saying earlier, I chose not to just because there's really no reason to glue it here. I didn't glue it on this guy, and it's still pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and attach 15. Let's get these out of the way, and we're going to come under from this side. So you're going to put your finger right in there, put your whatever, I'm using my middle finger right now to press up against the tab like that. And then I'm just going to press it right there and hold it. So I'm pressing right here. So let's go ahead and get the glue. My finger's still behind it right there. And then just hold it for a little bit. It's nice and secure. Do the same thing with the other side, except I'm just going to come right in from here, hold the tab like that, and then slide the arm over, and then just press on it. So my finger's coming up through here, right there, and then I'm going to hold it. Okay. Holding. Just a little bit of excess glue right there. Rub off real quick. It's nice and secure now. Gonna do 17, then 18. Go ahead and put the glue on this tab right here. And then just glue it to the back side of there, right there. It's real simple. goes where it's supposed to. Not a lot of thought required on the part of the builder. Let's get our tweezers. A little pinch right there. Tight. Come over to this side now. Tweezers, just glue it into place right there. It looks like it's holding pretty good. I don't think I'll need tweezers. So that's it. Very simple. You got yourself a little gingerbread guy. Now I got two of them. I don't know what to do with these. Hi! Hi! Are you my friend? Absolutely! Cool! Let's go stand on a shelf. Sounds like fun to me. Which one of us is talking? I don't know! Alright, so there you go. Gingerbread Guy from Fold Up Toys. Really fun, really easy papercraft. Get it before the season is over. If you have kids, have them build it. Super simple. Help them cut it out if they need it. I mean, they probably won't. It's pretty basic and pretty fun. And I mean, use good cardstock, good card paper, index paper. I'm thinking 60 pounds and higher works really, really good. And look at that. Adorable little things. So go ahead and head over to folduptoys.com, download them, put them together, and have a happy Christmas.